it's Kelly. Welcome back to my channel where we talk all about gentle skincare, sometimes self-care, and today we're talking saving money on skincare. The holiday season is over. Maybe you're feeling the pinch on your wallet. I know I am. So today I want to rapid fire 20 of my favorite tips for saving money, from products you don't need in your life to maximizing what you already have in your current stash, to tips on how to save money when you're shopping for skincare. So if you're so ready to dive into all of these money-saving tips, give the video a big thumbs up and let's get started. So when you're looking to save money in your skincare budget, you definitely want to be in the mindset of subtract, not add. Take a look at your skincare routine and look at what you might be able to take out and where you might be able to save money. You might be getting a little bit too extra with all of the steps. So my first tip for you is to remember that all you truly need for an effective skincare routine is a cleanser, a moisturizer, and a sunscreen. That's it. Those are the basics. And then to build on from there, you may want to add in an active treatment, things like a retinol, a vitamin C, and anti-acne treatment, right? That is it. That is a foundational skincare routine that will take you incredibly far. So let's talk about some of the products that you may not need in your routine. Tip number 2, reconsider eye cream. Do you really need this in your routine? You may not. And I'm going to say this is kind of controversial. I'm going to put a big underline under the word may, and let's put some stars by it as well. You may not need it. If it's an important part of your skincare routine and you feel that it brings you value, please keep the eye cream in your routine. But I know a lot of folks are like, do I even really need this? Does it even really work? And here's what I would say to you. You may want to try not using it. My tip would be to make sure that you're using all of your skincare products and pulling them up to the eye area. Of course, you don't want to do this with things like your retinol or maybe even like your acne treatments and things like that. You can also consider things like an extra layer of moisturizer around the eye area, or even sealing everything in and slugging the eye area, even with simply with some Vaseline, just to get some extra moisture, nourishment, and smoothness in the area. Tip number 3, use petrolatum-based ointment for everything. I mean, this is such a great multi-purpose, very inexpensive product that should be in your skincare arsenal. But don't just stop at slugging. As I mentioned, this can be used around the eye area, maybe in place of your eye cream to really seal in additional moisture at nighttime. And of course, the traditional use in the skincare world is to use a layer of a petrolatum-based ointment. And I'm talking about products like Vaseline, Aquaphor, Cerave healing ointment. Those are, 3 of the top ones. You can use that as like a sleeping mask or a slugging product to seal in all your other skincare products. But don't just stop there. You can actually use it to replace a lot of your common skincare and beauty products. I personally have been using Aquaphor, which is about 41% petrolatum, on my lips for over a decade at this point. This is my main lip balm. You don't need special lip balms and lip masks and sleeping lip treatments. Just use a petrolatum-based ointment. I personally like Aquaphor because it has the right mix of additional humectants and emollient ingredients in addition to the occlusive petrolatum. I also feel like it's long-lasting. That's why it's my favorite for lips. It's long-lasting too, so it lasts me all night long. I never wake up to dry and parched lips. Now you can also take a little bit of sugar and mix it into a bit of petrolatum, make your own lip scrub. Another use that I like for petrolatum-based ointments is as a cuticle treatment. You can, put on your normal lotions if you like, maybe a little oil. I don't use specific like nail or cuticle oil. I actually just use the same oil that I would put onto my face. So again, multitasking that same product. Put a little drop onto my cuticles and nails, and then I'll seal it in with some Cerave healing ointment, some Aquaphor, Vaseline, right? I'll rub that all around my cuticles to keep them, really to slug them, right? To keep all that moisture and all that oil and all that good skin softening magic sealed into my cuticle area, which can get very rough if I don't take care of it. Tip number 4, cleansers aren't sexy. Stop trying to make them sexy. If you are trying to save money, you do not need to be spending a good portion of your skincare budget on cleansers. $20, $30, $40, $50+ on a cleanser that you put onto your face for less than a minute, and then it washes flushes down the drain. So don't get pulled into the marketing trap of all these active ingredients in cleansers, the vitamin C's, the retinols, the exfoliating ingredients, right? They're going to get rid of your wrinkles and they're going to give you more youthful skin. We don't need this. It's not sexy. It never has been. Stop trying to make it happen. Okay. They are just there to clean your face, and really wonderful, gentle, skin respective, pH balanced cleansers can be had for under $20. And if you need to save money, you definitely need to look at how much you're spending on a cleanser. Now, on the subject of cleansing, let's talk double cleansing, right? Because this is a process where you're using two separate cleansing products to wash your face, and that can really add up in the budget very quickly, right? And so you may want to ask yourself, is this really necessary? Do I need to be doing this? And much like the eye creams, the answer is going to be different for everybody. But I will say, are you double cleansing every single night religiously, whether you are wearing hard to remove waterproof sunscreen and a big full face of makeup or not? You're just doing it because somebody told you this is what you need to do for great skin. If that sounds like you, ask yourself this question. You probably could save yourself some money. And I will tell you, I really only reach for a double cleanse when I'm wearing a full face of makeup like I am today. But many times I'm just wearing a little bit of concealer, maybe some brow powder, right? And some non-water proof or water resistant sunscreen. I won't use an oil cleanser. I won't use a balm cleanser. I'll just use one cleanser. I don't buy as much oil cleanser as I used to back in the day because I'm not just like mindlessly, right? Doing it every single night because somebody told me to, which I did used to do back in the day. Another tip for cleansing, maybe consider using water to wash your face in the morning instead of a cleansing product. Now, I brought this up as a money-saving tip because it does help to stretch your cleansing product, right? But I actually also bring it up because many of us don't actually need a cleansing product in the morning. For a lot of folks, it can actually be a little bit too stripping. It can lead to dehydration and overly dry feeling skin, and it can even sometimes lead to an overproduction of oil. This one I know is still, even to this day, I made a video about this like 7 years ago, and to this day, this is still kind of controversial opinion, just washing your face with water in the morning. It is not for everybody, but I will say it is something that you may want to consider, especially if you don't want to run out and repurchase your cleanser right away. You'll get a lot more use out of your cleanser if you're only using it at nighttime. Masks, they are really great products. I love my wash off masks. I love sheet masks, but let me tell you, when money is tight, they are the first thing to go out of my skincare routine. So I want you to reconsider your mask situation as well. Maybe you don't need to run out and repurchase them right away, or make them a big part of your weekly skincare routine if you're trying to keep that skincare budget tight. Tip number 8, toner or essence, not both, especially if you're looking to tighten up that skincare routine and use as few products as possible. Now, toners and essences absolutely have their differences. They can serve different functions in a routine, but generally speaking, the similarities are so similar that you don't necessarily need to be using both of these products in a routine. Again, if you're trying to save money. Now, you'll see me using both of these products almost religiously in all of my skincare routines. But I'm going to tell you, if things were really tight and desperate for me, I would choose between one of them. I would not be using both of them. And if you are looking to really tighten things up, and you're using both of these products, question this again. Toners, traditionally speaking, hydrate the skin. They bring humectants to the skin. They can help prep the skin for the rest of your skincare routine. Essences also hydrate the skin, but they generally have other ingredients beyond humectants, active ingredients that bring some additional benefits. So they hydrate your skin and brighten it, or they help with your well-aging goals, or they bring antioxidants, or maybe they help with your acne or with your pores, right? Really, what I would say is, if you're using both products and maybe you don't want to anymore, think about the quality that you need the most. Do you need the most hydration? Then maybe look more to the toner world, and know that there are toners that have essence-like benefits. And if you don't need as much hydration, but you like that boost, because essences are really like boosters to, especially to your serums. If you like that boost that you get from essences, but you don't need as much hydration, really focus in on the essences. And there are some essences that act like toners. They're just as hydrating. Next, let's talk about tips to maximize the skincare you already have. One of my favorite tips is to cut open your skincare. Now, we all know with especially like serum bottles, we know to turn that bottle upside down when the dropper stops working, right? You can get quite a bit of use out of those bottles when you do that. But don't be afraid to cut open tubes of moisturizer. You would be shocked how much product gets wasted if you don't do this. So you can actually get yourself to your next paycheck by doing this and not needing to repurchase that right away. So this can be done with tubes. This can be done with serum bottles. Just tip them, upside down, right? You can do it with your cleansers. Now, quick word about sunscreens. Yes, you can open up the tubes. You can cut them open and get more uses out of your sunscreen, but this is a slightly different product than your creams and your serums and things like that, which you absolutely can cut open and have open for weeks on end, even decanting them into separate containers. With sunscreen, once you cut that open, the clock is ticking and the formula is degrading. So if you're using that open sunscreen a week later, do not expect robust SPF 50 protection. Know that you were probably getting something, but you're not getting that labeled protection. Proceed cautiously and accordingly. Like, I have to tell you that. You have to know that so you can make the right choice for yourself. Now, maybe you're somebody like me who loves their watery skincare products like toners and essences and shakes generous amounts out into their hand and just loves applying all that goodness, all that hydration to your face and your skin, just absolutely loves it. And then 2 weeks later, you're like, why am I halfway through my toner bottle already? Maybe I'm using too much, but maybe it's really hard for me to pull back. I'm just shaking out way too much than my skin could possibly absorb, but like, I just can't change this habit. If this sounds like you, I would actually suggest that you decant your toner or essence into a mist or spray bottle. You will be surprised at how much more your toner stretches out, how much more application you get out of a bottle when you're spraying it into a fine and even layer on your face. Now, if your favorite moisturizer you've been using for months and months all of a sudden just doesn't feel like it's hardworking enough for your skin, like it's just not protecting your skin enough, this is very common in seasonal changes. Before you run out to find a whole new separate product, you may try experimenting by adding a few drops of facial oil into your current moisturizer to oomph up the moisture and a little bit of the occlusivity as well. You may also consider mixing in other heavier creams, just a little bit of a dab. Maybe you had something that was a little too heavy that didn't quite work for you. You can put a dab of that into your moisturizer to, again, oomph it up and see if that doesn't solve the problem. Put everything on display. This is such an important one because if you can't see it, you will forget about it. If you have a large collection or stash of skincare, you probably are constantly forgetting about what you have. And maybe you find yourself buying products and then realizing you already have something really similar. It's just that you forgot about it. I personally lose so much skincare to the back of the cabinet because it kind of just keeps getting pushed further and further back. And if I can't see it, it's like no woman's land back there. I can't find it. I can't remember it. I forget about it. So my biggest tip for you and for me, truly is to try to get everything on display as much as you can. It will remind you about everything that you have. So you'll feel very abundant, right? You know you have a lot of skincare. It will help you prioritize what you need to use up, but it will also remind you about everything you have. So you don't go and buy duplicate products or similar products because you're reminded every single day. So put it on display. If you have counter space, try to put it out onto the counter. You can also get these really cool rotating skincare shelves these days now, like even just off of Amazon. You can put a lot of skincare into a smaller, compact space on your countertop. Baskets can be great because if you have like deep cabinets or drawers, you can pull those out and then kind of look at everything. Tip number 13, implement a one empty, one newbie policy. It's just like it sounds. When something is empty, you may now go buy something new, but you cannot buy anything new until you have one empty in your hand and one newbie. Now let's talk about holistic skincare. Tip number 14, do not waste your money trying to correct bad lifestyle habits with skincare. Ooh, yeah, that one kind of stings sometimes. I will say, skincare, the journey of skincare, it's not just solely focused on the products that we put on top of our skin, right? I say this a lot. It's about how we treat our vessel. It's how we treat our body and how we invest in our health internally as well as outwardly, right? So if you are eating like a low nutrient kind of junk diet, you know what I mean? You're not getting a lot of fruits and vegetables, grains and legumes and all of that good plant-based stuff, right? But maybe there's a lot of sugar in your diet. There's a lot of, packaged processed types of foods that don't make you feel very good and vibrant, well, if they're making you feel like that on the inside, how do you think they're reflecting on the outside? If you do engage in vices, and we all have them, right? It's different for everybody, but vices that you know are impacting your skin negatively, drinking, smoking, tanning, things like that, you are going to end up spending a lot more money trying to correct those things on your skin that actually we can prevent or really slow down, right, when we get into control of those vices in our life. And so this is a little bit of a different topic for this video. I don't want to go too far into the weeds with this one, but you know what I'm talking about when I say this and how this hits you personally, right? Do not try to chase, skincare goals with just spending money on products, but also thinking about how you're treating your body and how that reflects on your skin. Next, I want to talk about skincare shopping, saving money, and being a savvy consumer. Tip number 15 is be specific. This is my most favorite skincare tip to give out, and it's the one I think gets ignored the most. And I will say, I personally to this day don't always take this advice. It's the best advice to take. It's the hardest one to take in. And what I mean by be specific is you have to know what you want to achieve on your skin. You have to know the active ingredients that align with your specific goals. You need to stop trusting marketing only. There's so many amazing claims out there, and you have to be cynical and remember these exist to take your money. These exist to convince you, to draw you in, to pull the rope even closer and to take your money, right? That's what marketing exists for, right? And I'm not saying it's all bad. I'm just saying that's its goal, right? That's its specific goal. But what's your specific goal? Because being glowy and having the aliens see you from the cosmos, I love this. From the cosmos, the aliens are seeing your glowy skin. Okay, that's nice. However, specifically on your individual skin, what's interfering with your ability to glow, right? Because you could slap on a lot of shiny skincare and it will bounce light and you will look shiny, which could be interpreted as glowy. But if you have a lot of hyperpigmentation on your skin that's left over from acne, that may be what's interfering with your ability to glow. And so you don't necessarily need products that are marketed to glow. You need products that are marketed towards active ingredients that fade hyperpigmentation, right? That's what I'm talking about with being specific. We all want to glow, but how we get to the glow, right, is our own individual specific goal, and it's going to be different for everybody. If you find yourself spending a lot of money monthly on your skincare, more than you're comfortable with, make a budget. It's as simple as that, and stick to it and be honest. When I say make a budget, I don't mean like your personal care budget or your self-care budget. I'm talking about a straight up budget just for skincare products. This does not include toothpaste and things like that. Okay, that's a separate budget. But if you really do feel like it's just getting a little bit out of control, dedicate a certain amount of money from your paycheck to your skincare for the month or for the quarter or however you like to work it out, and stick to it and be honest. And when the money is gone, it's gone. You can't spend any more until you renew that budget. Beware of false economy. Just because it's cheap, just because it's on sale, just because you can afford it doesn't mean you should. Oof, this is hard. I think especially in the day and age of Shein and Amazon, we're getting really accustomed to very cheap things, $10 things, right? But they're cheap for a reason, right? Just because it's on sale does not mean it's a good deal for you. So when it comes to skincare, before you hit purchase, scan that skincare routine, that stash that I told you to put on display so you can see everything easily and remember it. Look at all of that before you hit purchase. Do you have something just like that in your routine? Are you implementing your one newbie, one empty, one newbie policy? Check that. Okay. Also, is this even a good product? Like, it is $10, but is it, going to be $10 well spent, or is it just going to be $10 spent? Oh, that's a hard one to know. But if you're specific about your goals, specific about the ingredients and the types of products that you're looking to add into your routine and being mindful, it's going to be easier for you to decide, is that well spent money, right? Because I will tell you, yeah, you can just buy it and it's just $10 and it probably won't break the bank, that one $10 purchase. But if you're making that one $10 purchase this multiple times a week, multiple times a month, that does add up over time, right? And it can be kind of surprising how much that false economy adds up over time. It may not actually be a good purchase for you in the long run. And in fact, that $10 item that's going to bring no value potentially to your life, you could save that $10 and maybe another $10 here and another $10 here. Now you have $30 to invest in possibly a better quality product that better aligns with your goals. $30 might give you more of a pause before you hit purchase, like impulsively, right? But this is the idea of false economy. It may not always be as good of a deal as it seems. Consider size. You may save more money by actually purchasing the larger size, which upfront may cost more money, but will get you more mileage in the long run. Pause before bulk buying. Now, this is especially a tip for those of us who like to get our K-beauty and Asian beauty products from overseas. You may like to do bulk buying where you do like one really big order, one time a year or maybe a few times a year to save on the custom charges and the shipping charges, right? Because it can cost a little bit more to bring all of that stuff to you when it's not local. However, I want you to pause and really ask yourself, do you need all of this stuff? And am I going to use all of this stuff? Because like I said, it can be a good money saving strategy, but it can also lead to wasting money if you don't ask yourself these questions. Skincare has an expiration date. Skincare does not stay efficacious and good forever, especially things like sunscreens. We want to be very aware of those expiration dates. If you're overbuying sunscreen more than you could possibly use before the expiration date, that's going to be a problem, right? And my last tip goes out to those who are truly struggling with this right now. You want to save money on skincare, but you find yourself buying a lot more products than you could possibly ever put onto your face. You find yourself spending a lot more money on skincare than you really are comfortable with, and you want to break this cycle. This is the tip for you. I want to give you the power to opt out. And I'm talking about skincare content. And I am not trying to put myself out of a job right now, quite honestly, because I rely on you to watch my content, right? This is how I'm able to do this. Your support means so much to me. Just watching means so much, and it does make an impact. However, if it is really harming you, if it is really making it hard for you to stick to that skincare budget, and it's hard for you to use up all of your skincare products and empty something and then buy something new because the content is just so... It's just so tempting, right? I want to give you the power to opt out, even if it's just for a little bit, or maybe if it's for a long term, right? You can opt out. You do not have to watch these videos. You do not have to follow me on social media, or if there's other creators that just make you want to buy stuff all the time, you can block them, you can mute them, you can unfollow them for right now. You do not need to engage in this. I do find, even for me personally, and like I said, this is a job for me, right? This is a livelihood, and I do follow all of this content, and it makes me want to buy stuff. And I'm sitting here spitting the wisdom, right? But it makes me want to buy stuff too. It even gets to me. It's very infectious. And so it can be really hard to navigate that. And so you may find in times where you're struggling, just opt out. Please, power to you. Opt out. And I'm not offended. I'm not offended. So I hope that video was value packed for you. I will say one of my resolutions for 2025 is to be more mindful about how I'm using my skincare products. So I hope that you found a lot of value in this video. If you did and you're not subscribed to my channel, if you want more skincare content just like this, you like this vibe, definitely hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you're never out of the loop. I'm very active here on YouTube if you like some skincare content on your feed. I hope that you are healthy, happy, and safe wherever you are in the world. I love you so much. Please keep shining your light, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.